Ain't nobody messing with my queens, listen up. You ain't gotta love me, cause I love me. Put a hand up if you in the trenches building confidence, and put a hand up if you need some mending for your heart that's healing. Salute, say you in attendance, this army's relentless. A weekly dose of motivation, give me your attention. This is for all the queens going heal by any means. They chasing our self-esteem, it's not as hard as it seems. Go, go, go queen, go. Ain't nobody messing with my queens, listen up.
Welcome to the All Queens Army podcast. It's your girl, your host, Coach Breezy. I am here with another dope episode for the queens. Yes, honey, I'm super excited because today is the season 4 finale of the All Queens Army podcast. And it's your girl, Coach Breezy, and I am going to motivate the shit out of you. Yes, I am. Hey, queens. Super pumped, y'all. Let me tell y'all real quick how proud I am of myself. Yes, ma'am. I told y'all better start patting yourself on the back when you be hitting your goals or whatever, because ain't nobody gonna big you up like you can big up yourself. As you all know, I was super duper inconsistent with my content and other areas of my life, period, right? Like I just had an issue with being consistent and staying focused and doing one thing and putting my whole heart into it. And let me tell y'all something. I found my way into consistency at the tail end of season 2, okay? Season 3, super consistent all the way through, did the damn thing. Season 4, did it even better, did it even bigger, okay? So I just want to big myself up real quick. Coach Breezy with the 2 seconds left on the clock, hitting the 3, and the crowd goes wild. Yes, ma'am. Super pumped for myself, okay? So I just had to do that, y'all, because it's not enough queens out here who are giving themselves the credit and the props for overcoming their limitations, for busting through the shit that's holding y'all back, honey. And that's the whole reason why I created this platform to begin with, is so that we have a place to talk about our limitations, our issues, hold ourselves accountable, grow, evolve, and change our goddamn lives and live the lives that we deserve and that we want. Why? Because we can, boo. And that's on that. Period. Okay. So today's topic is going to be a doozy. This episode might just run long. All right. It just might run long. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about learning how to embrace the pain in your life and turning that shit into power, because so many people run away from pain and try to avoid it and try to not deal with it and sweep it under the rug and deny it and turn their backs on it. And I am here to tell you, queens, that if you keep avoiding it and running from it and not dealing with it and not dealing with that shit head on, you are holding yourself back. You're not living your life to its fullest potential because you're trying to avoid the pain. And by avoiding the pain, honey, you are preventing yourself from the highest pleasures that you absolutely deserve. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I have a couple really quick announcements. They're going to be super quick today because today is the season finale. So after today's episode, we are going to be going on a little teeny bit of a hiatus for about 6 weeks while I prepare and get everything ready for season 5. I've already started working on season 5's content, but with season 5, I'm going to be adding something major and big to the All Queens Army platform, not just the podcast, but the actual platform. Okay. So if you don't follow All Queens Army on Instagram, make sure you do so that you can get those announcements. Also join the All Queens Army email list so that you can get these announcements as well. You can do that by going to the website, which is allqueensarmy.com. Okay. The next thing is the ebook. That ebook is fire, if I may say so myself. Okay. It's fire. Y'all got to go ahead and download it because it is still free right now. I have not decided yet if I'm going to put a price on it. I might just do that. I'm not 100% sure. By the time season 5 starts, I will know with 100% certainty, but I want you guys to get it now while it's free. You can actually download it on the website. Now, what you're going to get from the ebook is a step-by-step set of instructions on how to create boundaries, but more importantly, you're going to get step-by-step instructions on how to enforce enforce them and how to stand up for yourself, okay? And last but not least, queens, be sure, for real, 1000%, that you are subscribed to the All Queens Army podcast, okay? Make sure 1000% that you are, because again, we're going into season 5, so there's not going to be any new episodes that are going to be released. Or maybe there will be. I don't know. I might have some surprise bonus episodes for y'all, but y'all won't know because y'all ain't gonna get the notifications if you're not subscribed, okay? So in order to subscribe to the All Queens Army podcast, you can go to the website, click on the subscribe tab, choose your favorite podcast platform, and subscribe, okay? We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Amazon's Audible app, Google Podcasts, and Facebook, okay? Okay, queens, that's all for the announcements. We're gonna have into today's topic and talk about how to learn to embrace your pains and turn that shit into power, okay? That's what we're going to be talking about today. The reason that I wanted to talk about this is because most people try to avoid pain, all right? Now, this usually happens after that first time that life slaps the shit out of you, after your first major blow of some major pain. Once we hit our adult life, we typically decide at that point that, yeah, I don't want to deal with that shit anymore. That was not fun. I didn't like the way that felt. That hurt. It was uncomfortable. Not for me. And what happens is that we start to develop like this sense of defense where if we start to feel or if we think we see the same signs of pain coming that we saw when we got hurt before, we put up our defenses, we put up our guard, okay? And a lot of times what that could look like is we run away, we shut down, we avoid, we deny, we numb ourselves to it, we pretend that we don't care, we turn on that savage mode, right? I talk about that all the time because that's like this thing that our generation is like, everyone's so savage, nobody has feelings, nobody cares, everybody can just get through pain, fuck this, fuck that. Like, that's a thing, and I don't know why it's a thing, but it's a thing. And to me, it's a big, big, big red flag that you're in a little bit of a denial, okay? I'm not saying that everybody's in denial, because there's some things that some people can just handle and tolerate, and that's cool for them, but it ain't everybody, and it's definitely not the norm. So I challenge people a lot when they have that attitude like, oh, I don't care, I'm good, all that bullshit. No, you're not always good, and you don't always not care, okay? Sometimes when people have those attitudes, what they're doing is actually avoiding. And when you're avoiding, you're neglecting dealing with exactly what it is that's happening in your life. I mean, but let's be clear. Let's be honest. No one wants to experience pain, okay? Nobody is waking up every day and looking for the next painful thing that they can engage themselves in, okay? No, none of us are doing that because that's some bullshit. We don't want to deal with pain, right? It's natural for us as humans to try to avoid pain, period. That's what's natural. But here's the thing, in all seriousness, guys, I want you guys to understand that a lot of the responses and the reactions that you have when you anticipate that pain is right around the corner or that pain is on the horizon is a trauma response. Okay? It's a trauma response. Remember, I just said that most of us developed these trauma responsive reactions after the very first or second time that we experienced some major pain. Things that happen at certain periods of our lives that cause us pain, and I'm talking about emotional pain. I'm not talking about physical pain, okay? I'm talking about emotional pain. Something that broke your heart, something that disappointed you, something that just literally tore you down emotionally, made you lose all of your self-esteem, made you not understand your self-worth, things like that, made you start questioning who you are. There are lots of things that have gone on in our lives that cause a lot of pain. A lot of pain. I know this, guys. I know I joke a lot and I tend to be sarcastic and stuff like that, but y'all all know it's all in love, right? It's all in love. I don't say any of these things in a way to devalue how you feel or to ignore your feelings or anything. As a matter of fact, I'm doing just the opposite. I actually want you guys to really come to a point where you can deal with how you feel, where you can face your feelings and your emotions, when you can face your pain. That's what I'm hoping for all of the queens, is that we can learn how to face some of the icky, yucky, ugly, hurtful, painful things that we have gone through. Because the only way for us to heal is to actually deal. In order to heal, you have to deal. You cannot heal if you keep running. You cannot heal if you keep avoiding. You can't heal if you sweep it under the rug. You can't heal if you bury the feelings and the emotions deep, 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 deep down inside of you, where you don't even have a conscious or surface level recollection of them. Those things are actually extremely unhealthy, okay? So one of the things that I wanted to do is identify the fact that the way that most of us try to run from or avoid or deny our pains is a trauma response. It's a trauma response because we have been so beaten down by some shit that has happened to us in our past that we can't even fathom. Like, your brain cannot even fathom going through that shit again. That's why it's trauma. When we go through really difficult, really hurtful, and really heartbreaking things, our brains are going to try to prevent us from going through it again. That is a trauma response. When your brain alerts you immediately to say, red flag, hey, be careful. This looks just like the situation that happened last time. I see signs just like I saw right before the last heartbreak. And what happens is you immediately go into a defense that you've created to avoid what you're anticipating as the pain, okay? Everybody has different defenses. Like I said before, some people run away, some people shut down, some people avoid, some people deny, and other people actually use numbing techniques like drugs or alcohol or things like that. People are just trying to numb it. They're trying to not have to deal with the anticipated pain that they think is coming. But the bottom line is that running and hiding from your pain or from hardships does not guarantee less pain and more pleasure. The thing about pain is this: you have to understand that pain and hardships do not come into your life to cause an inconvenience or displeasure. That's not the intention. That's not the purpose. You also have to understand that pain does not last forever. It is something that's temporary. Discomfort does not last forever. It is something that's temporary, okay? But here's the bottom line. Pain will only not last forever and be temporary if you push through it. You've got to push through it. If you keep shutting down and running away from it and avoiding it and denying it or trying to numb it with outside techniques, drinking, drugs, partying, sex, if you're trying to do any of those things to avoid having to deal with it, then that's what makes the pain not temporary. The only thing that makes the pain temporary is you actually facing it, going through it, and then once you're through it, it's behind you. Okay? You guys have to understand that pain is a part of life's process. It's a part of it. There is no life that exists with only pleasure or only contentment or only happiness or only satisfaction. Life is multifaceted. If you don't have pain, you don't understand pleasure. If you don't have sad times, you don't understand happy times. You have to have different variations of things and experiences and situations in your life to understand the difference in the two. In my opinion, now again, this is just my opinion. Other people may feel differently, but here's my opinion. This is what pain means to me. Pain means that you're growing. It means that you're growing. It means that you're self-aware. We talked about this a little bit in the last episode and in episode 73. We talked about pain and hardships and problems and stuff like that. Pain means that you're growing, okay? Its job is to alert you that something in your life is out of order. Something is amiss. Something is not clicking. Something is off. Pain is an indication that there is a problem. Think about it from the perspective of physical pain. Usually, when you keep getting a nagging physical pain in some part of your body, it is the body trying to alert you that there's a bigger issue brewing. So if you ignore that pain, every day that you continue to allow that throb, every day that you allow it to just continue to throb, it gets worse. Whatever it is that it's trying to alert you to gets worse with every passing day. Pain is just the alarm. It's trying to alert you that something in your life needs your attention, okay? And what we do when we run away from it, when we shut down, when we avoid it, when we deny it, when we numb it with different things, all we're doing is giving the pain a Tylenol or an Advil. And we all should know that Tylenol and Advil doesn't stop headaches. It doesn't stop the cramps. It just turns the part of your brain off that alerts you to the pain. That's all it does. It doesn't actually stop or cure whatever is causing the pain. It just shuts your brain off from being able to identify it, from being able to alert you that it's happening. And that's what running away and shutting down and avoiding and denying does. All it does is turns your brain off from the fact that it's there, but it's still there and it doesn't go away. So you have to understand that pain has a job. It has a job and it it has a purpose, okay? Hardships, they have a job and they have a purpose. Problems, they have a job and they have a purpose. Unfortunate events and unfortunate situations, they have a job and they have a purpose in your life. You have to stop avoiding them. You have to stop running away from them. You have to stop acting like they don't exist. You have to stop sweeping them under the rug because it doesn't happen by accident. The pain, the hardships, the problems have a purpose in your life. They are purposeful. Its purpose is for something in your life to change. Something has to change. There is no change without pain. Change causes you to leave your comfort zone and operate in an unknown space. That's what change does. That's why change feels painful, because it's asking you to leave a comfortable space. See, a lot of times when we experience pain or hardships or something like that, it's actually God's way or the universe's way, whatever you believe, of squeezing you out, of forcing you out of your comfort zone. You know why? Because you have overstayed your welcome in that space. That space is no longer for you. You are graduated. Your time there has expired. That space was meant for you for a certain period of time, and that time has come and you still haven't moved. So now life has to move you because you haven't moved yourself. That's what pain is. Pain is weakness leaving the body. It hurts. It hurts for you to stop being comfortable. It doesn't feel good to have to get out of comfort, but that's what pain is doing. It's pushing you out of comfort. That's why you feel it. You're no longer in the comfortable space. You're forced in being moved to operate in an unknown place, and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good because you don't know this new place. It doesn't feel good because you don't know what to expect. It doesn't feel good because the energy is vibrating at a different place and you don't necessarily match up with it yet. You don't even understand it. I mean, you can't expect to live in the comfort zone all the time your entire life. The comfort zone is where people and dreams die. So when you leave the comfort zone, I mean, you're going to be, uncomfortable. That's what it means. You're in a comfort zone. You're in a safe space. So how do you embrace the pain and transcend it into power? How can you actually face the thing that you're afraid of facing, that you're traumatized by, that you think, oh my gosh, I can't possibly go through another thing? How do you actually face it? How do you face it when you just don't feel like you have the energy? How do you face it when you just don't feel like you have the strength? How do you face it when you feel like you've been beat down enough? How do you face it when life has already kicked your ass and you are down, not even just on your ass, but on your back? How do you face the pain? Where do you get the motivation? How do you develop the courage? Well, I'm going to tell you. The first thing is that you want to embrace the pain. Embrace it. Some people don't really actually understand what embrace the pain means. Let me tell you what it means. It means you acknowledge it. Acknowledge that what you feel is pain. See, so many people try to act so tough. They don't acknowledge that what they feel is pain. That is a learned behavior in this culture. Like I just said, this culture has an obsession with everybody being tough, with everybody being savage, and everybody not giving a shit. And that's why I said to you guys just a few minutes ago that that is a problematic attitude. It's problematic because it prevents you from allowing yourself to acknowledge your true feelings. It forces you to pretend to behave in a way that is more culturally acceptable, that you have to be strong, that you have to be unbothered, that you have to just not give a fuck, that this thing doesn't piss you off, that this thing doesn't break your heart. And that is some bullshit. The bottom line is, if you feel pain and you neglect how you feel, matter of fact, I don't care what you feel. I don't care if the feeling you feel is heartbreak. I don't care if the feeling you feel is defeat. I don't care if the feeling you feel is being let down. I don't care if the feeling that you feel is reject. I don't care what the feeling is. Whatever feelings you have, you deserve to be able to acknowledge them. Because if you can't acknowledge them, you will lose yourself. You will not understand yourself. You will be neglecting your emotional well-being and your own self-care. Why? To fit in with some people who don't even know who the fuck they are? No, never sell yourself short. Allow yourself to embrace your pain. Feel your pain. It is okay that something hurt you. It is okay that your heart, your feelings, and your emotions are not made of steel. Guess what? Nobody's is. They're all fucking capping. I promise you. So acknowledge it. Acknowledge it as pain. Say what it is. Whatever it is that you feel, and say what it is. Don't be embarrassed by it, and don't try to fit in with other people. Fuck them. Okay? Feel what you're feeling. Give it a name. Say what it is. and then accept it. Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't judge yourself. Don't get mad at yourself. Don't be disappointed in yourself. Don't criticize yourself. See, all of that stuff right there is you trying to fit in what the culture says that you should be and how you should act and what you should do. You shouldn't let fuck boys upset you. Well, if they do, they do. You shouldn't let people who keep playing with you break your heart. Well, if they do, they do. You're never going to get to a place where it doesn't bother you if you can't deal with the fact that today, right now, in this present moment, it does. Either way, it's okay. It's okay if you haven't graduated to that place yet. It's okay if you have. It's okay if you still care and you're still sensitive and you're still hurt and you're still wounded and you're still tender. That's okay. It's also okay if you've healed and you don't let people play with you and you're super confident and you really do have savage emotions and feelings. Both are okay. My point is, don't try to be something that you're not. Grow there if that's where you want to be. But if you ain't there, then acknowledge where you are. So that's the first thing. Embrace the pain. How do you do that? Acknowledge it, feel it, accept it, and do not criticize yourself for how you feel. Just acknowledge it. Give it a name. Say it out loud. Admit it to yourself. It's okay. Here's the second thing you want to do so that you can embrace your pain and transcend it into power. Go through the damn pain. Go through it. Don't run from it. Don't avoid it. Just go through it. So after you're able to embrace it, you acknowledge it, you feel it, go through it. What does go through it mean? Because again, a lot of people know that they got to go through it. Everybody tells you got to go through it. But what does that actually look like in action and in steps? Here's what it looks like. Cry if you have to. Allow yourself to be sad or feel sad if you have to. If you need a day or a week or a couple of weeks to just be fucking sad, that's okay. Be sad. If you need a day or a couple of weeks to cry, then that's okay. Just cry. If you need to see a therapist, if you need to talk to a confidant, someone you trust, a trusted friend, do that. Whatever it is that you do while you're feeling that pain, you should do that. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Don't let anybody tell you you're weak. Don't let anybody tell you how long you should be there. No, this is your journey. It is specific to you. It was created for you and you only. Only you understand your journey. Only you know what's best for you. So when you go through something, you're allowing yourself to feel all of the feelings that come along with the pain. Feel it and go through it. You're strong enough, I promise you. I know sometimes it feels like you're not strong enough because you've been through a lot of shit and you've been hurt a lot of times and you've been let down a lot of times and you've been disappointed a lot of times and your heart has been broken a lot of times and people have betrayed you and people have done you wrong. I know that you feel like you can't possibly do this shit again. I know that you're emotionally exhausted and you're tired and you just feel like, oh my God, not again. I know because I have been there. I lived through that shit and I'm telling you that there is another side to it and you are strong enough and the shit didn't kill you the last time and it won't kill you this time. You can do it. You wouldn't even be going through it if you couldn't handle it. It wouldn't even be dealt to you if God didn't think that you had enough left in your tank to get through it. You got it, boo. You can do it. I'm not saying it's not going to hurt. I'm not saying that sometimes you might not feel like you're going to break. You might just feel like that. But I promise you, you won't break. You might bend. You won't break. You got it. But go through it. Feel it. Acknowledge it. Let it hurt. Acknowledge the pain. Let it feel like shit. It will. It's okay. You're human. You were meant to feel. God gave us emotions and feelings. He intended for us to feel. And I promise you this. If you allow yourself to feel it, go through it, cry yourself through it, be angry about it, whatever emotions come with it, seriously, you can be angry, you can be mad, you can be pissed off, you cannot understand, you can yell to the top of your lungs if you want to. You can break something, just don't break nothing that y'all need or value, okay? But you can have that. You can have a minor tantrum. Just do it by yourself. Don't go out into the streets now busting up nobody's shit, y'all, okay? Okay? Y'all better do this right, okay? Don't be saying that I done sent y'all out there busting up no shit now. Y'all know what I mean, right? Okay. I don't want to have to delete this out the episode because I want to keep it funky and 100 with y'all, okay? Because I done broke some shit. I was so angry one day. I took a plate and I literally smashed it on the ground. I was so pissed off. Now, you got to be careful with stuff like that because you don't want a piece of glass to pop up in your eye, make you blind, or no shit like that, okay? So again, I say this to say, allow yourself to go through it. Feel what it is that you feel. You will be angry. You will be mad. You will be pissed off. You will be frustrated. You're going to feel all of that stuff. You will probably cry. You may need some days and some time to yourself, and that's okay. Lick your wounds. Allow yourself to feel it. But like I said, guys, I promise you with each passing day, it will get easier. This is just the first step in the healing process. You have to know that when you're going through the pain and you're feeling the pain, you're at the beginning stages of healing. But you'll never heal if you try to avoid it. You're not going to heal if you run away from it. You're not going to heal if you keep deciding to not go through the pain. You've got to just face it. And I think everybody wants like a magic pill or a magic potion to, how do I just go through it? Everybody's trying to find a way to go through it without dealing with the pain. But that path doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. There is no path to dealing with things, to growing through things, to changing things, to elevation, or to healing without the pain. It's in the path. You just have to go through it. Okay, here's the next thing that you can do to embrace pain and transcend it into power, okay? You want to explore the pain and be curious about it. Once you allow yourself to go through it, then you want to start becoming more curious. Start exploring the pain, okay? Now, how do you explore the pain? The first thing you want to do is own the pain is yours. You have to own the pain. What I hear a lot of people doing is saying statements like this, and I quote, "John hurt me. He broke my heart," end quote. When you say it that way, you're actually saying what John did. You're not taking any ownership of your own feelings. You're talking about what John did. Now, I know some of y'all going to agree and say, oh, but you're saying he hurt me, so you are owning it. You're not owning it. The way that that sentence is phrased is talking about what John did to you. Forget John. See, that's what we have to understand about things that are going on in our lives that are unwanted things. They're not about the other person, but we always focus on the other person. We always make everything about the other person. The other person is neither here nor there. The other person is literally a nameless face. The experience is all about you and what you were supposed to learn from it. The person doesn't matter. See, that's where we give away our power because we're always focused on other people. We're always dissecting them and what they did wrong and pushing the blame on them and focusing on them and looking at what they need to work on and why they behave this way and why they act that way. And that's not even what the experiences are about. It's not what relationships about. It's not what pain is about. It's not what hardships are about. It's not what success is about. It's not what happiness is about. I'm not just talking about negative stuff. I'm talking about everything, good and bad. Everything is about you, what you were supposed to learn from it, not what the other person did or who they are or how bad they are, their bad characteristics. Fuck them. You can't control them. The experience is about you. It's about you. So here's a better way to rephrase the sentence so that you're owning your own feelings, okay? So instead of saying things this way, I quote, "John hurt me, he broke my heart," end quote. You'll say it like this: my heart is broken by some of the things I experienced in the relationship with John. My heart is broken. Not John did this. See the difference? The first way you say it is you talking about what John did. The second sentence, the second example is about how you feel. Own your pain. Take the other person out of it. Once you own your own pain, then you can learn from it. Then you start to become curious and explore what it is that that scenario or that experience was trying to teach you. What is the lesson in the pain? Use the pain to direct you to the source of what's in you that needs to change or evolve, because that's why the pain came to begin with. Do you think that pain comes into your life for you to figure out what's wrong with John? I mean, like, for real? Do you think that pain comes into your life for you to start dissecting other people's personalities, their issues, their flaws, their problems? No, that is not what you're supposed to be doing. It has nothing to do with them. If that's the case, then you're going to be doing that shit every day for the rest of your life with everyone that you encounter yourself with. You have to turn inward, queens. You're supposed to be leveraging these issues, these problems, these unfortunate circumstances. You leverage them. You turn them bitches into power, and then you step up on that shit and you elevate yourself to the next level. That's why it happens. It doesn't happen to cause you pain. It happens to alert you that something is amiss, that something's off, that something needs to change, that something needs to grow, something needs to evolve. You have to let go of something. You have to let go of someone. You have to let go of a certain attitude. You have to let go of a certain behavior. You have to stop doing a certain thing. That's what the pain is trying to tell you. It's saying, hey, red, flashing light, something's wrong. You've got to look at the area of your life in which the pain is in. And you got to get curious about, what is this red flashing light trying to alert me of? That's why I say be curious and explore. What is triggering the feelings that you have? Remember, I told you to embrace the pain. Embrace it. What do you feel? And then once you know what you feel, once you're able to acknowledge it and feel it and accept it, ask yourself these questions. What's triggering this? What does it say or mean about me? What attitudes, behaviors, or habits of mine is this highlighting? What have I asked for or prayed for or hoped for that this issue could be in relation to? Is anything in this part of my life that's causing me pain holding me back? That's what pain and unfortunate circumstances and problems and challenges are all about. Again, queens, I said this in episode 78. I said it also in episode 73. Those are two good episodes that are in relation to this topic that you may want to check out. And I talked about this very thing. So you'll stop being afraid to go through pain when you realize that pain came to change. You'll stop being scared to go through the pain and to face the pain when you realize that the pain is really your power. You'll stop running from the pain and avoiding the problems when you realize that it is the step and the elevator to take you to the next level. See, you keep running from it, you keep avoiding it, you keep ignoring it, and you don't understand why it keeps coming back. Because it's not going to let you live until you do it. It's not going to let you move on until you go through it. It's just a part of life. It's a part of life because you were manifested on this earth to be something. You were manifested on this earth to share something about what you have, your gift, your talent with the world. That's what you were put here to do. And all the pain is, it's just a little alert, or it might be a big alert or a big siren at this point. If you've been ignoring it for a long time, the longer you ignore it, the longer you run from it, the longer you avoid it, the louder it gets, the more painful it gets, the more inconvenient it gets, the brighter the red flashing light. And it's going to drive you crazy until you address it. So queens, just write down these steps, okay? The first thing is to acknowledge it. The next thing is to go through it. The last thing is to explore it and be curious about it. Try to stop running from your problems, queens. When you run from your problems, you will run and you be out of breath and you be breathing hard and you done worked all hard to get away from it only to look up and be right back in front of it again. Don't do that to yourself, queens. We have so much life left to live. And it's such a beautiful life for us to live. We have so many blessings waiting in store for us. We have so many wonderful opportunities that are just waiting to be rained down into our lives. And I promise you, queens, they're coming if you stop running. That's a promise. I know. I don't even know all of y'all personally. I don't even know who exactly is listening, but I guarantee you the fact that you were led here, whether you knew why you were led here, the fact that this title intrigued you to press play, whether or not you know why you were intrigued to press play, whether or not I know why I was intrigued to say what I said, it happened in perfect harmony with the universe for a reason. It was meant for me to give the message. It was meant for you to receive the message because you've got something, boo. You got something. So don't run from the problems, baby. They're just going to keep chasing you. They're just going to be there when you stop running, and you're going to be out of breath, and you're going to be tired, and you're going to be worn out, and you're going to be frustrated. You're going to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm still here again. Yes, you are. Go through it. It's not as bad as it seems, okay? I promise y'all that, all right? Now, with that being said, queens, thank you all so much for sticking in here with me for season 4 of the All Queens Army podcast. I am so excited to say that is the end of this season. We have another season in the books. I am so excited. I am so proud of myself. I'm more proud of you guys for continuing to inspire me, for continuing to help the All Queens Army platform grow. I love you guys so much. You guys have no idea how blessed I feel to have the honor of talking to you. I love you, queens, from the bottom of my heart, from the depths of my soul. I say thank you. Please connect with me on Instagram at All Queens Army. Please make sure that you subscribe to the All Queens Army podcast so that in a couple of weeks, when we launch season 5, you'll get a notification that is coming, boo. Okay, queens, until next time, I will talk to you guys soon. I love you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon. I love you. Bye.